Thank you for joining us. I'm Jobert Okal, and this is Cebu Vote, the continuing coverage of the Freeman and Banat news of the May 2022 elections. And welcome to Know Your Leader. Joining us in the program is Attorney Rajiv Enad, the Mayor-elect of Minglanilla Town in Cebu. Attorney, mayang hapon and congratulations.
Mayang hapon, Joe. Mayang hapon sa tanan natong viewers sa Cebu Vote o sa Freeman.
Salamat for joining us today. Nakatulog na ba ka?
Ginagmay pa.
How does it feel now? It must have been quite an exhausting campaign, and the election year.
Very extensive campaign, for us, especially as first time running for mayor, Joe.
Yes. Okay, let's go to the very first, and I think this is the most important question of all, at least to me. What can the residents of Minglanilla expect from your leadership now that you're mayor?
I have been a councillor for 18 years, from the SK Federation president, an ex-officio member until a regular member of the council. So, legislative ang atong work. Dili pa gid mabati sa mga tao ang atong leadership. Now that I am elected as mayor, first time makita sa atong mga igsoon sa Minglanilla ang liderato ni Attorney Rajiv Enad. So this will be a firm one, but with a heart, because we will always remain consultative and participative in decision making and directive, sa atong direction sa Minglanilla. So we will involve a bottoms-up approach in our leadership. We will consult, we will hear from the grassroots sa unsay panginahanglanon sa Minglanilla para muhimo tag mga policies or programs and projects based on the needs of the people.
Can you explain further what you said earlier, na firm but with a heart kind of leadership?
This time, we will entail political will, in all our decision making, in all our implementation. But of course, kini atong pagserbisyo kinasing-kasing yun. Kaya mga tao may gabutang nato sa position, dili pwede nga ma-implement ang mga programa o mga proyekto nga dili uyon sa pagbati sa katawhan.
You also mentioned it's going to be a bottoms-up approach. So that means, of course, that you will be listening to your constituents, particularly those in the grassroots level. But we just came from a very polarizing elections. What about your political opponents, the other side of the fence, so to speak? What is going to be your relationship with them once you assume office?
As to our political opponents, atong mga katpang, we hope that they will cooperate with us. But as to their supporters, I am elected mayor not only for those who voted for me, but also for those who did not vote for me. So I am the mayor sa tanan nga political parties and political supporters. So there are three teams that ran for office during the 2022 elections for Minglanilla. Right. Abante Minglanilla, Bagong Minglanilla, and Team Pangmasa. And I will be serving them all wholeheartedly.
Speaking of which, your first 100 days, unsay ganahan imong i-focus na issues and concerns?
Of course, we will start with our house. We cannot implement for the whole town if we do not start with our own house. Programs and services will be better delivered if our personnel will be better capacitated. So we will put a premium on capacity building and trainings for our personnel, including values formation, because we have to have the proper mindset. We are a entity of service. So we will let the people feel that kami may sulugoon sa katawhan.
I understand you have the same, you belong to the same political group as your vice mayor. Incidentally, atong outgoing mayor sa Minglanilla. Will there be changes in personnel in City Hall once you sit as mayor?
We will see, because we will assess all our current personnel. And
go ahead.
The goal is to better serve. The goal is to better serve our people. So whatever that means, whatever that costs, then we will implement.
As far as capacitating is concerned with the personnel, unsa nga mga areas do you think, attorney, ang kinahanglan pa natong i-capacitate sila further?
Especially, firstly, we have to have an aura of customer service. No, we are paid for by the people. So when the people goes to their municipal government, they must feel that they are well accommodated, and we must tend to their needs with the proper attitude and mindset. So we will correct all those wrong notion before of who and what the municipal government is.
Unsa ni nga mga wrong notion, attorney?
Sometimes the people in our municipal hall they feel entitled. No, if we forget that we are served for by the people, we are paid for by the people to serve them. You know, we are all our salaries, honorariums come from our taxes. So we must prioritize. We must consider the taxpayers as our boss.
So mag-expect na may ani nga once we visit Minglanilla, everyone at City Hall will welcome us with a big smile.
With a big smile. With a pleasant attitude.
With a pleasant
And then, of course,
yeah.
we will focus, of course, on the current problems that we have, especially our traffic management. Immediately, I think once I assume office, I will create the new traffic board that will revise all our traffic management and plans, so that immediately we will address our biggest problem, which is the traffic management of Minglanilla. Tackling the traffic problem of Minglanilla is a war, but we will win that war one battle at a time.
Why do you consider it a war, attorney?
Because previously we were called the Sugat capital of the South. And now we are titled the traffic capital of Cebu. Unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, but we are positive, optimistic that there will be changes.
Speaking of which, nganong maglisod man gyud ta og solve sa traffic problem sa Minglanilla, and that's felt even by those nga dili taga Minglanilla nga we just passed by the municipality, ma-feel gyud ang ka-heavy sa traffic. Why has it been quite difficult for the town to address this problem?
Firstly, there's only one national highway going to the south and going to the north, and there's only one national road traversing the same area. So all the people from the city going to the south and all the people from the south going to the city pass by one road. So that seems to be a problem. We have to have diversion roads. Secondly, we are optimistic because there are other national projects that are forthcoming, that might help solve the problem. But the traffic management itself belongs to the LGU. Dili mi manghinaw. We have to take responsibility for the traffic management that comes into our town. Although majority of the users of our main national road that traverses through Minglanilla is not from Minglanilla and are not Minglanillahanons, but we will not shy away from taking responsibility of managing that traffic that courses through our town.
Speaking of big projects, do you think the newly opened CCLEX or the Cebu-Cordova Link Expressway can help solve the traffic situation there?
There might be secondary effects, but primarily no. Not yet anyway, because it's still a bottleneck in Minglanilla. If you go to the south from the SRP and the main national highway, they converge when they reach Minglanilla. So I think there's a problem there. We have to create diversion roads, but there are national projects that are forthcoming, such as the Expressway and the Tamina Road, the Talisay Minglanilla Naga Road. If those two projects will push through, then there will be three big roads traversing through Minglanilla. But we will see. Yeah. Hopefully, the national government will implement them.
Yeah. For the benefit of those watching, attorney, for perspective lang, asa ni mahimutang ang expressway, for example?
The expressway is already entering Minglanilla from Naga, no?
Okay.
And then it will go towards Talisay and Cebu City. But as of now, we are requesting a rerouting of the current route of the expressway kay daghan kay balay maigo. Yeah, more than 200 or 300 houses ang maigo sa Minglanilihanons. So we are still negotiating with the DPWH if they could minimize the affected houses na maigo sa expressway. But of course, once nga madayon na yun ang expressway, nanalain highway nga moagi sa Minglanilla, which would be a very big help to us. And then the Tamina Road, if the national government will take course nga may tabo na siya, I think this will be traversing near the coast, you know, from Talisay, Minglanilla, and then directly to Naga. So, but we will still also consider the houses that will be affected. We will fight for the houses that will be affected, no. But if mo push through a project, this will also be a very big help to the traffic problem.
Speaking of which, if I can just extend the conversation, kaya nakisgot naman ta og si Lex a little bit ganina. Since as you mentioned earlier, it might not affect Minglanilla directly as far as easing of traffic congestion is concerned, but what about the other effect? Since the CCLX will also facilitate more traffic going into Cebu South for tourism, for example, are you anticipating this problem to worsen the traffic situation in the town?
Well, not directly, no, because the CCLX is mainly will help us for those who are traveling to and from our national airport in Lapu-Lapu, no. So people going to travel, no, going to their airport, will no longer need to pass the national highway. Everybody will go through the SRP. But after the CCLX has opened, I think there will be, if you want to go to the airport, you go through SRP and CCLX. If you want to go to the city, you can go to the national highway, SRP, and you cut to Mambaling. There are many options now for the people. I don't think it will worsen our problem.
Okay. I'm asking this because I know that Minglanilla is now more aggressive in promoting your tourism destinations. We've visited one before. So if we can just jump into that, what are our plans as far as tourism is concerned?
For tourism, there are many possible sites that we can develop in Minglanilla for tourism because for too long now, the people of Minglanilla, kung gusto mo suroy, gusto mong dasilang pamilya, mato sila sa laing lugar. We want to bring back the pride in our town that our Minglanilihanons will go to Minglanilla. No, so the possible sites of tourism we will have to assess now because we will focus on tourism as well, and then also on our sports facilities and amenities. No.
Hopefully, everything will go as planned, Attorney. Mayor.
Because our principal platform when running for office is our Rajivs Vision for Minglanilla, which entails work, live, and play. No, we want to engage in employment for our people. We want our Minglanilla to be livable because the basic services are strong, the environment protection is there, and especially for the peace and order and traffic management. And we also want to have our play because we are people after all, and we want to engage in leisure and sports activities. So those are the main aspects of our platform, and we wish to pursue them in the many projects and plans that we have for the next 3 years.
That's right. And these projects and plans, Attorney, are of course very much incumbent upon our COVID-19 situation, because we might be forgetting we are still in a pandemic. In fact, this is we just had a very unique and challenging elections due to the pandemic. As far as pandemic response is concerned, what are your plans for the next 3 years for Minglanilla?
Fortunately for me, assuming office from the past administration of Mayor Lani, we are the #1 town in terms of vaccination rate. We achieved our herd immunity very early. Yeah. And COVID for us now is something that is not as problematic as before because of our high vaccination rate. And people are more aware, more educated about COVID problems and how to address it if there are instances of COVID cases. And of course, the vaccination rate is very high, I think more than 80% now. So if tackling or recovering from the COVID, I think we will have our response will be for focused response programs for COVID and minute tackling of COVID cases now because there are only a little occurrence in Minglanilla, not as much as before, and we don't foresee a rise in COVID cases in the future.
Hopefully, magbilang anghel ka, Attorney. Mayor, our situation will remain. We will remain under alert level 1.
Yes.
At least as far as the rest of the month is concerned. All right. We have written it in the Freeman, and you have been very open about your plans in pursuing a reclamation project in Minglanilla. Can you please tell us about it? And where are we as far as that project is concerned?
Our reclamation project in Minglanilla, we have worked on it from the past 8 years. No? We've been going towards the different agencies to get the approval. And fortunately for us, as of 2021, June 11, 2021, our project has been approved by the Philippine Reclamation Authority. As of October 2021, we had our groundbreaking already. And recently, we had just received our notice to proceed. So I think this year, without a doubt, the project will start. And this project is also an island type reclamation, similar to our SRP, if I'm not mistaken. But the difference is this reclamation project of ours will be focused on a more in commercial and light industrial development. Commercial in the sense that this will be like IT Park. We envision it as like an IT Park Ayala themed development where there are many BPOs, call centers, retail, dining and shopping, and malls, including condominiums and residences. And this will also be, we will be engaged heavily in light industrial development in the area, in the sense that we will have this PSA certified so that it will be likened to MEPSA in Lapu-Lapu or Mitsumi in Danao, where we can engage many locators in production in industry, and an assembly industry, so that we will have many employment. Actually, studies show that the feasibility studies expect that 5 to 15 years from now, when this project is completed and all the locators are in place, we can generate around 74,000 jobs for our reclamation project. As the committee chair on the Committee on Laws before I was elected as mayor, I made sure that I included in the contract that 80% of those who will be employed in our reclamation project should be from Minglanilla.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where our work aspect of our platform focuses on.
Yeah, 80% overall, Mayor, or 80% per locator?
Per locator.
Okay. I think I like to believe you are also aware of the many oppositions to reclamation projects. We've had many protests the past year in other areas in Cebu for the reclamation project. What's your take on this, and how have you prepared for this as far as the environmental impact is concerned?
Actually, we have passed all the environmental clearances and issuances as far as government agencies are concerned. But of course, the people are our boss. So we have to cater to them. We have to explain to them everything. And actually, our reclamation is only 100 hectares. And from the start, near adjacent to our beach or our baybayon, this will only take around 1 kilometer or a little more than 1 kilometer from our shores. But our municipal waters would entail that we have 10 to 13 kilometers from our shores. So our fishermen has still a lot of areas of the sea where they could fish. And studies also show that 1 kilometer from the shore, um, at least 3 years ago, would only produce now at a minimum of 4 kilos of fish a month. No, so per square kilometer. So it would not be viable for our fishermen to fish in that area. And then they still have more than 10 kilometers from the shore where they could still fish. I think the livelihood of our fishermen is still viable, even with our project. And of course, we made lots of consultations with our fishermen. We had meetings with them. In fact, there was one meeting where I asked them, kinsa man ninyo atong mga igsuon nga mangingisda nga nangandoy nga inyong mga anak ug inyong mga apo magpabilin nga mangingisda.
Okay.
And none of them made any comment because when I asked further, sila din tanan nangandoy nga ilang mga anak mas moasinso pa nila mahimong professional or di ba highly skilled worker.
Okay.
So when they answered me those answers, I told them then pareho taog damgo tanan sa tibok Minglanilla. So please help support our project because mo na ni ang padulngan sa atong mga anak ug mga apo once they become professionals or highly skilled worker. So I think most of our fishermen now are supportive of our project.
No protests so far from environmental groups?
There were protests during our groundbreaking. But then again, like I said, we consulted with most of the fishermen and fisherfolk sectors. And we engaged them in conversations and we tackled their concerns. And one of their concerns is the relocation for those who are living on the shorelines that will be affected by the project. And we made measures. The past administration, together with me as the chairman of laws, met with our developer, and we made measures that should they be affected, those living beside the shoreline, our developer, to get in cooperation with the LGU, will provide relocation sites, relocation homes for them. Actually, this time vertical housing ang atong implement, not the usual single housing, single story housing before. This time condominium type, like what they're doing now in Metro Manila or in Cebu City. So vertical housing for those who will be affected. Okay. So I think those are the main issues that will be addressed. Those are the main concerns by our sectors that will be affected: the relocation site and the housing, and secondly, it's their continuing livelihood, which the LGU and our developer assured that their livelihood will continue with our support, and of course they will have vertical relocation housing for those that will be affected.
Right. And when the day comes, we can always go back to this interview.
Yeah, you can hold us accountable to that. We will make sure that we will aid our Minglanillianos because we love our Minglanillianos after all.
Right. All right. You've mentioned earlier that much of your experience in public service in Minglanilla has been more on legislation. What are you most proud of as a legislator in the town?
I am very proud of my welfare ordinances. I passed several welfare ordinances that are now being enjoyed and received by the sectors that need them the most. Say, for example, our PWD, our solo parents, our senior citizens. I've passed ordinances that because of these ordinances, they are now receiving a monthly allowance from monthly financial aid from our LGU, including our BHWs and tanods, our youth leaders. And I'm very proud of I think if you ask as a municipal councillor what I'm most proud of, maybe during the time of pandemic and Baguio, that I'm very proud to say that I never hid or shied away from coming out and continuing to help the Minglanilihanons in whatever way I can, whether personal or projects that I help implement. I think I'm most proud of that.
Okay, and of course, the results of the elections show that your constituents are also grateful for what you've done. All right, your message to your supporters as well as the rest of the residents of Minglanilla.
To all the supporters of Abante Minglanilla and Attorney Rajiv Enad, my heartfelt gratitude for your belief, your support, and nawagin matarog, nawagin maunsa. No matter what the issues that have been thrown at us, the fake news, derogatory remarks or comments, or black propaganda that has been employed by our opponents, you still remain true and strong to Abante Minglanilla and to our Rajivs Vision, for a progressive locality and town. And I thank you all for that from the bottom of my heart. And to all Minglanilihanons, whether you are from Abante Minglanilla of Attorney Rajiv or from Bangong Minglanilla and Team Pangmasa, I won as a mayor for all of us. I will do my best to serve you all and bring change and improve our services and make you proud of Minglanilla. And it is our town. We only have one town, and we live together in one locality. Let's work together, for a better future.
Great message, Mayor. One last question from me for now.
Yes, Joe.
The most important lesson you've learned in public service and from public service?
The most important lesson that I learned, rather, is always put the people first. In any decision making, in any plans, in any programs, consider the people first. If this is what is best for them, what is better for their situation or circumstance, and then you can never go wrong, because government service is public service after all.
Attorney Rajiv Enad, the Mayor-elect of Minglanilla, Municipality of Minglanilla here in Cebu. Salamat kaayo for joining us, and congratulations once again. You are now the new mayor of the town.
Thank you to Freeman for giving me this opportunity. It has been a very nice and kind interview. Now I hope to engage with Cebu Vote in the years and in the months to come. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome, and we look forward to the many things you will do for Minglanilla. Salamat once again for joining.
Salamat, Joe.
Thanks for joining us, and thank you for keeping watch with us this 2022 elections. I'm Jobert Ocao, and this is Cebu Vote, the election coverage of the Freeman and Banat News. And as we say here, be part of the conversation, protect the Cebu Vote.